Hi, this is Christa at the Secret Yarnery. Today we're talking about hooks. Finally, it's hook time. I've been wanting to do this for so long. So these are the hooks that I have in the yarnery. I started at the low side, moved up to the middle range, went crazy with furls, and then stabilized where I think is the right crochet hook zone. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you what's here, and then I'm going to go to the tutorial area where the camera is above me and I can show you each hook and we can talk about it where you can really see what I'm talking about. These were the first hooks that I bought because I thought the price was amazing, and they came in a pouch and I thought everybody's going to need those. They're actually really good for traveling around. I wouldn't say really good. They're good for traveling around because there's every single hook. But I don't use any of these small ones. I know lots of people do, but I do not. And they go up to a 6.5, and most sets go up to a 6. So that's another good thing. Plus they're color coded, and I like my color coded hook. So these ones I like. The price is really good. I think I got them for like $6 or $7. Which I thought was a great price. I've never used them. Truth, right? Next, I got these ones. Ergonomical. Actually, I'm lying. Let me see if I can find my other set. I have a set for sharing. Well, it must be in my studio. I can't find them here, but I'll put a picture over there. I got the little sew set. There's 11 ergonomical hooks. Those are, we call them gateway hooks because they're ergonomical, so they crochet so much better than regular aluminum. But the handles are soft, so eventually, like over a year or two, you'll get like where you hold it with your thumb will kind of wear off. And the grips also slide down the handles. So if you're crocheting with 2 strands of yarn, making a basket or something thick, the handle, you have to kind of push it down so the handle goes back, the shaft goes back inside the rubber sleeve. Bit of a downside. Moved on to these ones because they come in a nice case. About the same price. You don't get as many hooks. This you only get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get 9 hooks. I think these are little scissors that come with it. And they're ergonomical, grippy. I'm assuming they're the same as the little sew. They feel the same, but a lot better than aluminum, and they come in a cute case. And obviously you get lots of hooks. And these aren't much, they're like $20 or something, 15, 20. You can get them on sale, just keep your eye out. So moved on to those. Then I got, I think my next one was these ones. I got these ones next because I thought I could crochet when the power goes out. And it is true, you can. I got the whole set, which these ones are really great. It takes a bit of getting used to. And the batteries last probably for like a day of crocheting. I don't know if you can see how bright it is. But when you're starting, you can just be staring at the light. You're like, oh, it's so bright. But they are really handy, and they're really handy also for like black yarns. So those are good. I will show you these ones also on the other side when you can have a good look. And so I moved on from those. My next ones, I think, were the Clovers. So these ones, I love them. But when I started out, I thought they were too expensive for, like, I just saw like you get 10 crochet hooks, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 crochet hooks. I was like, the price is crazy. Like, who would pay that when you can get the same kind of set for like so much less? Little do I know, not the same kind of set. This is not comparable to this. These handles slide up and down and wear off. These handles do not slide and do not wear off, and the gliding tip is insane. I'll show you on the other side, but it's kind of got a texture to it. It is not shiny aluminum or shiny metal. It is super glide, amazing, fabulous hooks. I also got these ones. the Red Heart crystalline, are they crystallines? Crystal Lights. Love those. Well, no, I don't love them. I've never used them. Because at the same time, it was kind of right when I tried these ones. And then I found these ones. And these are so much better. These are like a million times. So these are more expensive when you buy them in the store or at Amazon. But you can also, like what I do, I keep them in my shopping cart and then I buy them when they're like a certain, like a percentage off. So you can get them at like $10 each, which sounds like a lot, but they're so good. Like they're lighter. Like we do projects with the 6.5 or the 7. The 7's yellow, just because we want to use these hooks more than the aluminum. They're so much lighter, and the handle's a bit longer. So if you have, like, you know, some people don't like the hook hitting their hand. These ones don't hit your hand. They go on the other side. They're big. So that is a really good thing. From there, I moved on to Tulip, because everybody says Tulip, Tulip, Tulip. So of course I got Tulip. I got all of these individual ones, so all the sizes. I got some pink ones too, but I've sold them already. The rose ones. I had some sets. So I got all those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So I got these ones. Well, I got more, but these are what I still have in stock. And they are the brown ones with the gold tips. And lots of my students, like 2 of my students, love these more than Clover. Like, swear by them, love them. It's all about the thumb rest, but I'll show you on the other side. Get these put back. They're all sorted out by size. I also found the same place these tulips, 7mm and an 8mm. Haven't tried them because I have the Clovers that I'm in love with, but we'll go give these ones a try also. So I'll see you on the other side. So this was the first crochet set that I bought, but being compulsive and not being able to ship to Kenya straight off, I never used them because I've ordered another set. What I do notice now looking at it is there is a lot of wear already on the top of that hook. Can you see that? It's like, it's not a reflection, it's actually silver. The rest of them look fine, but that 5.5 looks a bit nutty. The rest of them look good. They're not as smooth as you'd think, but the price is right. They're like $7 or $8 and you get the whole set. So especially if you use the smaller needles, I think it's a pretty good deal. Good to even just keep in the car in the glove compartment, like just in case. And the package isn't bad. It's like pleather, and it only comes in this purple. Well, when I was buying them, they only came in this purple. Cute. I'll put the link in the description box below. What I also ordered at the same time was this Lili sew. Now these ones were great. Everybody loved these ones. The 6 my daughter has. The 5, this lady stole from class. I let her borrow it and then she ran off. So discouraging. And yeah. And I was like, oh, she'll bring it back. Because she's like, you know. Anyway, no, she didn't. So that one's missing. But then my girlfriend she brought me one back from Singapore, and it was a 5mm. So I was like, oh, perfect. And this one, I don't know the brand, but it's like a triangle handle, and it works quite good. The handle feels like harder, not as squishy as these ones, so I had to just cut my tray a little bit to poke it in there. But that's where this, so that lives, and I technically have a set now. I have to put it the other way. And these ones, when you're crocheting with more than one strand, well, you can pretty much pull this handle down. The handle slides. So then you have to like push it down to get it to go back up. Like if you're really pulling like 2 strands of yarn at a time or something really tough, or like making a basket or something, or a rug, these handles do slip. And eventually my girlfriend bought them also, and she crocheted a lot. She probably made about 10 or 20 blankets, baby blankets, and where she holds with her thumb was completely worn out, and you see the silver. But these are a really good deal because you get so many hooks, and you get the bigger one. You get a 7mm and you get an 8mm. So even if you go and buy one of these, if you buy both of these, basically the rest of this is free, because these are more expensive by a big chunk. So you get the 7 and the 8. They're heavy, but they're still a 7 or 8. So you still have them. And it also comes with 10 stitch markers, but obviously I have used those ages ago. But this was my first set, and I would recommend it for anybody starting out, or even for kids who you're not really sure if your kid's gonna crochet a lot, because it's a really good set. They're color coded. They all have a spot to fit in this plastic kind of tray, and it does snap back shut. So I just keep mine in there, minus my alteration for that bigger hook and the 6 that my daughter has. The 6 one is red color. So that is Lili Sew. I think they're $11 or $12. Totally recommend these ones, and I'll leave a link in the description box below. From there, this is the other set I got because it came in a pouch. The biggest size here is a 6mm, and the smallest is a 2mm. So they're good. I think it's good if you're starting out also. You want a kit, a little zipper pouch. It's cute, and it comes with these ones too. I don't know what these are. I think scissors. I think that's what it said. They're snippy scissors. Let's look. Oh, well, that's confusing. What is it? Oh, they are snippy scissors. Well, that's cute. So you get a zipper pouch and snippy scissors. This is a bit more, I forget the price because it was ages ago, but I think they're about $20. And it has a little zipper on the outside for other little bits, your stitch markers and what have you. So I really liked that a lot. It says crochet up on the side, on the little zipper, and they're little rubber tags. So that's a cute set too. I have not used it, but I'm sure they're the same as the Lili Sew. And let's actually use a Lili Sew so I can show you how they work. They're quite good. The handle is kind of more square, like it's wide, and it's pretty evenly chunky. There's not like a really flat spot, but there is a flat spot on the 2 sides, matching. So that's good, and they work nicely. My magic knot. Be happy, magic knot. There we go. They work good. They work well, I should say. My grandma slapped me. There's a bit of a clunk. I don't know if you can hear that. Like a thunk and a thunk. But for starting out, non-committal, the price is right. The price is great for these ones. I forget what it goes down to, but it's like less than $15. I think you can get them on sale. So I'm guessing, actually, I probably shouldn't say. I'll link it down below. Or I'll put it on the screen what they are today, and then I'll put a link in the description box below. So these are a good set. This I recommend. Then I moved on to my all favorite clovers. I love my clovers. I love my clovers. So they come with 10 hooks. So 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4, 3.75, 3.5, 3.25, 2.75, and a 2.25. Yeah. So they don't come with a 3, actually, but Tulip comes with a 3. So, but these are my favorite, and I can show you how those work. The other thing I like about them is that they are color coded. So in your head, you can kind of keep track, and they have the size and the millimeters and the letter is imprinted in the rubber. So it doesn't rub off. You can actually feel it. I don't know if you can see. They're just down here. So those are great because it's not stamped on. It's actually like pushed into the handle. And the handles are so smooth and they have that matte finish. And that matte finish just makes you glide. So these have no pulling, that pulling clunky, there's no pulling clunky. Really nice hook. Let me just chain one and turn, get going back. So these are great. These are my favorite. They go through puff stitches better than Tulip in my opinion and in the opinion of some others that I have spoken to. So this is like, I would say this is a must. I would say you must at least have a set of Clovers. I can show, I have a 6, good. So I have Tulips in a 5, I have lots of Tulips, but I'll just use the so that's the pink one, and that's the brown one. They're stamped on. Let me show you. Get my Clover out of the way. The information is like a clear sticker that they've kind of put on, but it doesn't wear off. I have had no wear on mine at all. I don't know if you could scratch it off if you wanted to, but I don't want to. But downside, and these also have a matte finish. They're not super shiny. It's kind of like a matte gold finish. The tip is shinier, but the shaft still really has that matte finish, which is something you should look for your hooks. I think they work really nicely. And they have the difference between the Clover. These are both 6mm. I'll move that out of the way. But the difference between the Clover and the Tulip is the Clover. Can you see the shape of it? Can I hold it? But it's like round down here and flat across the top. So the flat part is for your thumb and it's round down here. So that one works really nicely. And the Tulip is thinner, so it's flatter in the center part, and it has a thumb rest on one side. So it's still rounded at the back, but it's a bit flat, a bit more rectangular. Can you see? Where's the top side? Oh, it's hard to show you. But one's flat and one has a bump. That's the difference. And so it's the thumb rest and the color, and to me, it depends. Some people say differently, but for me, the Clover works better. It glides faster. Lots of people love the Tulips. If I only had to pick one set, I'd pick the Clover. But I'm also a color person. I like the different colors in the set. Tulip does have sets with different shades of pink. So you can have like a darker pink or a lighter pink, but that wouldn't be enough for me to know what I'm doing. These also really crochet icely. For crocheting on acrylic or craft yarn or just regular yarns, I can't really tell a difference. I find that Clover is better for doing puff stitches, and Tulip might be better for chenille, like really fluffy, fuzzy yarn. I like having both. If one starts squeaking, I just use the other one. And generally that gets rid, because different fibers react differently, but I'm trying to think of what I didn't like the Clover with, and I can't think of it right now. Anyway, really good, really fast to use, really lovely. Now let me see, I have my light up hooks, which is this set here. Most of these I have upstairs beside my bed, the colors that I use. See, colors, I'm into the colors. This is a 6mm. Oh, it still works a bit, but you can see, well, you can't see it, I'll show you. The ones I use a lot. And then the ones I don't use, like I have never used a 3.5, so I've taken the batteries out to put in another one. So that one doesn't even have batteries. They come with batteries, by the way. Oh, that one's still good. One has batteries. That one's good, has batteries, but I probably use this one a bit. That's 6.5. And this is how they come. So they come with the battery tag thingy in it. So let me take that out. I'll show you how they are when they're new. Can you see how bright that is? It's like, I've actually used them as a flashlight or a torch around my house. I have like a coffee cup beside my bed with some hooks in it, and I'll just grab a hook and like go and look for what I'm looking for. So let me find a dark spot and I'll see if I can, or maybe I'll film this tonight. I'll come and show you this in the dark, because that is actually, these are really cool. So I'll do that later. Joys of editing. What else? So then the bigger hooks, I got these ones, the red heart. These aren't much, they're like $6 or $8 a pack. They have a nice flat thumb rest. See it? And they're nice and light. I don't think they break. I mean, maybe eventually. They do seem a bit bendy, but I'm particular. They have the size in the plastic on the handle. So this is 8mm. Let's get the Tulip 8mm. We will compare. Oh, and we can get the Clover 8mm. Oh, look at us go. So this is the Crochet Lite. Let's crochet with it a bit and see how it is. Obviously I'm going into smaller stitches, but yeah, it works. Can't say it doesn't work. So this is good. It's not bad. It's light. The thumb rest is good. It's going into a tiny hook. So this was a 6mm we used. Now I'm doing a 8mm into it. So that's working quite well. I can't say it doesn't work. This is the Tulip. It is imprinted and then has gold rubbed into it for the sizing. And it doesn't really have much of a thumb rest. It just has a little ding. Can you see that? It's just a tiny bit flatter right in here. So I don't know. Give that a try. I like the tip of it a lot. The tip of the shape of the top of this tip is a lot nicer than that tip. It feels like skinnier. I think maybe it is skinnier. I like that one. Yeah, it's working also. And these are quite cheap too. I actually didn't get it on Amazon, so I don't know if I can link it below. It is a bit more spinny. It feels more like you're using a pencil because there's not much of a thumb rest. It's kind of just like a wild random thing, but the tip is really nice. And then Clover. Y'all know I'm going to love my Clover. And you can see the tips again. Like, look, the tip is nice and pointy, nice and skinny. Oh, it's a beautiful hook. And it has the same flat thumb rest with the same rounded back. Can you see? That's the thumb part. And the back part is just nice and rounded. So these ones are obviously my favorite. So that is a biased opinion. They're great. I will leave the links for all of them below. You can buy the whole set of bigger hooks, of the Clover bigger hooks, but don't buy the set. it's way more expensive than buying each hook individually. So just go and find all the hooks and just buy them individually. I'll put links down below. So those are my bigger hooks. And now I will show you what I use. So this is where I keep my crochet hooks. It's my favorite case. I have them in stock in black, but this is my favorite one, the gray with polka dots. I'll put a link down below. It's Damero, but they come in a lot of different companies. You can have a different company, but it's the same kind of bag. So it has 2 zipper compartments. The first zipper compartment has space for all these hooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it has space for 10 hooks, and they're generally quite stretchy and expandable. So I usually have a full set in here, but this is why I'm having problems. My whips. I have hooks with my whips and I don't know where. They're lost. So then this top compartment, I keep some Tylenol or Panadol. We have Panadol here, but it's the same as Tylenol, I think. If you're a nurse, you can correct me. But I think that's pretty much how that goes. Paracetamol, proper word. 2 of those in case I have a headache somewhere. That's gonna suck. Business card, never know. That's just in there, I don't know why. Then the bottom pouch, I keep my scissors. I'm loving these scissors. They work really nice. I have another pair. Well, I'll show you that another time. I don't want to get into notions, but I love my scissors, and I'll put a link. And then my needles. I have one of these. We made crochet hearts for Valentine's last year, and I just keep it to put all my needles in. So I have my needles. I usually also have plastic needles, but I'm going to do that in a separate video because I have more needles coming. I have the Clover, I don't know, I have some sort of Clover hooks coming. So we will do a whole needle review next month sometime. But these are the needles that I keep with me. Let me just get it handy so I can get it back in there. And I just keep them in one of those hearts so that they stay put. I don't want them falling out. And that really works a treat. I even just go like this from the outside of my pouch and just shove it in like that, and it stays. So you don't really have to go inside all the time. You can go through this mesh to just tuck your needle in. So that's what I do with those ones, those pouches. The back side, I keep my bigger hooks. And this one, I think these 4 come like that, but these other ones are smaller. They all came stitched down like this, like for small little hooks. Like picked, so I got my seam ripper. There was 2 seams here, so I picked out 2 seams to make a big one, and I picked out 2 seams here, just with a seam ripper, so that I could put big hooks in. So I recommend that also if you have an opportunity. So I have all the Clovers. I have, where's my 6.5? So the plastic ones, the super lightweight, they're also a bigger size. Let me show you with the Clover. So that is the size. So you can see how much taller they are than the well, you can't see how much taller they are than the regular hooks, which I really like because when you're working on a bigger project, bigger yarn, it's nice to have like a handle that's not stuck inside your hand. It goes over the edge. So I really, really like those. They all sit in there. And they're color coded again, so you know what you're supposed to be looking for. So 6.5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. I have the 15 also, but I keep that in a zipper pouch because I don't use it all the time. Obviously. What's this one? 5.5. Okay. And I also have these little guys. These are the Edgit. Have you heard of Edgit? They are really sharp. Well, not too sharp, I guess, but sharp enough to go through fabric. So you can put an edge on fabric, but I found it to be quite a pain in the butt. But that's just because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to tiny little fiddly work like that. I'd rather just get my sewing machine and whip it up. Oh yeah, this one's really nice and sharp. That one's sharp. I don't know if you can see, but ding, you can poke yourself good with that one. And then you just go along doing like a blanket stitch or a single crochet along the edge of a washcloth or whatever you want to do, and then from that, the next row you can just use your regular yarn because you can just crochet straight into your fabric. Haven't really used those, but they take up that last little spot. And then in this pouch, I keep my yarn colors that are hard to find. Actually, this one I have found now, so that one's not too hard. These ones are my yarns that are hard to find. So I keep a sample in case I go to that factory, I can look for the exact color because they just never have them. I also just keep a little thing of essential oil peppermint doTERRA in there in case I need a freshen up. And I have a stitch counter. So these are the electronic ones, and you can just kind of keep track of your row. Not that I use that much either, but it's cute to have, you never know. So that's what I keep in this other pouch. And that's about it. So let's wait for nighttime and we'll do those light up crochet hooks. So I have found a dark place in my closet. So I have two hooks, the 6.5 and this brand new 3.0. See how they can use them as torches? They're pretty great. So 6.5. So these are both, I think, new. I don't really use either size. So I'll just show you using the 6.5. It is similar to the 6 we were using for this sample. So you can see we're in absolute pitch black. And there's a bit of like flashing light, not flashing, but like bright light, I guess, towards your eyes. You get better at looking at the shaft of the crochet hook instead of like the brightest spot, but that takes a bit of time. But you can see I'm in the absolute dark and I can crochet perfectly fine. I can see my stitches. I know that I have 2 loops on my hook. I know where it's going. I don't have to use any other light source whatsoever. So that's why I really love them. And it's actually not that distracting for anybody around you. Oh, I'm out of yarn. Well, that figures. Because it's just that little light. And you can crochet totally. Let me show you one that I have used more. I'll turn on my other one for a torch to look for it. Okay, I would have used my 6 a lot unless I changed my batteries in it. Okay, next one. Ooh, that one's really bright. Maybe my 6 is the one. Can you see the one in the middle? It's not as shockingly bright. So they dull down. So the first hour or so, oh, this one's empty. So the first hour or so that you use them, they're really bright. Like this one, I would say, is like brand new. That is super bright. And then, let's turn that one off. And then this is the 6.5. That also has never been used. So that one is super bright. This one is my 6. I would have been using this one. I've changed batteries in it. Let's just get back to crocheting with it. But you can see how it's not as blinding. After you use it probably for maybe 2 hours, it's really great for probably about 6 hours. And then it's almost too dark. You can still do it, but then you get to a point where you're like, gee, I should put on a lamp. It's also good for using in the daylight. But see how you can see how many what loops you have on your hook. That also works with your black yarns. Oops, I'm at the end again. And we'll have double for the win. So you can totally crochet in the dark. I really like them. There is a bit of a squeak to it. Sometimes it's noticeable depending on the yarn fiber. So it wouldn't be like your everyday hook. You wouldn't have these and only these ones. I have also heard, although not noticed or had happened to me, let me find one here, wait. These skinny ones, let me turn off the 6, but see the difference in brightness. So this one is new, and that's the one I've used. So there's a sweet spot of your batteries. So I'd be totally happy using my 6. And this one I'd be like, oh gee, it's so bright. But it's only bright for a short bit of time, and then it's totally usable for a long period of time. I've heard, let me turn off my 6. I have heard that the skinny ones, like the 3 millimeters, they can break. They can snap off. If you're doing anything like, you know, they are just a crochet hook. It is not actually like a screwdriver or a power tool. Like it is just for pulling yarn through another loop of yarn. I haven't had any, but you can see kind of how bendy it is. Can you see? Let me see. Can you see how bendy that is? So I can see that, you know, I'm sure that person was not making it up. I'm sure it did break. So it's something to think about. But I think everybody, they are good for your set. I don't use them every day, but I love having them, and I don't panic when I crochet in the dark or I'm crocheting with a black yarn. So I hope you enjoyed that talk about hooks. I know I mentioned furls in the beginning. I didn't mention it in my tutorial. Not one of my favorite things. But as my grandma said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So, not saying anything at all. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.